and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me are three men who wish that there was a toy line for the 1998 movie Deep Rising. It's Steven Kersner, Adam Hodgins, and That Junkman.
All right, so we are doing a company.
Deep Rising toy line. And I'm sorry if I'm stealing any of y'all's. Jet skis, Treat Williams, Monsters, Cruise Ships, West Study, Jaimin Hunsu, Kevin J. O'Connor. Wow.
Come on, Under Siege. Anything with Steven Seagal in one of those white outfits. You can have the variants. You can have the chef outfit. You can have the military outfit.
Whoa. And Tommy Lee Jones with the bandana.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm convinced, though, and you guys can maybe, I didn't pick a Steven Seagal movie tonight, but I'm convinced that the Marshall Brave Star action figure was based on Steven Seagal's face. Hold on.
And apparently, some people consider that a holy man. Now.
Yeah, he's a holy man.
So right now on the podcast, if you're listening, Adam's going into his massive toy chest.
We're already pulling out visuals here.
Yeah.
But tell me, I'll take his hat off, that this doesn't look like a Steven Seagal action figure.
It looks like a brunette guy.
Okay, so Steven Seagal is a brunette guy. I see the Seagalness there. I don't know.
Well, I'll include a picture on the episode on Movies, Films, and Flicks,
right.
and we can vote on it. You can say yes or no.
Right. This is a audio medium that some of you are hearing, and we're doing visuals, but it's great.
Yeah, it's about this big and this wide.
Well, Adam's been joining me on the podcast for a couple years now, and you have a new show coming out, and we brought in That Junkman to join us. We're doing a crossover. This is a crossover episode. Let us know, Adam.
Yeah, so Steve and I are launching our channel GoFigure, and it's an action figure hunting and restoration channel. We're big action figure fans, and so I said, Mark, we should do a crossover episode, and then I said we should bring in the Junkman, who I'm a big fan of, and because again, I'd say Junkman, and stop me if I'm stepping on your toes here, but I'd say you're a guy who takes what you do seriously, but you don't take yourself too seriously. And so
I don't even know if I take that serious. Sometimes right? I only take what I do seriously.
That's right. And so Steve and I, on our toy show that we're doing, are really trying to stay away from lots of toy collectors get really crazy and really angry. And these are toys. They're meant to be fun. And so we want to keep the fun times rolling. So we thought we'd bring the Junkman in to be part of what's going on here tonight. So we're going to be doing a draft. We're going to be picking some movies that never had toy lines. Because Star Wars was really the first movie that changed that dynamic of a marketable toy line to a movie. Because movies they come out for a few months and then they go. So there's no lasting audience to play with the toys. And so then when Star Wars came out and the toys didn't come out in time because they weren't ready because no one thought it was going to be a thing. It was a year later when the toys came out and changed the way toys were made, the way they were marketed, the way they were sold. Since then, we've been getting toys with any movie comes out, it usually gets a toy line. But today we're going to draft our fantasy toy lines from as a kid that should have had a toy line. So what we're going to do is we're each going to draft three movies that we think should have had a toy line. We're going to discuss them, and we're going to pick a top 2, top 3, and then whatever one ends up becoming the winner on our show Go Figure, we're going to make that custom line. We're gonna make it. So whatever one wins tonight, we're going to produce it, and I'm going to make the inclusion of the four of us as figures in the line. All right. So whatever. So if Deep Rising shows up, Mark, you're going to be a guy on a jet ski. All right. We're going to have the Mark Hoffmeyer. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen.
Why do I sense Lex Luthor in my future?
Steve, you're not wrong. I have a toy of his Lex ready to go. Just chopping his head off for you.
Let me ask you some rules first.
Okay.
Because I know we're doing that never had a toy line. Does that mean didn't have a toy line when the movie came out? Because like Super 7's done some stuff in the last couple of years. We're
talking like kids geared, 5-point of articulation when the movie comes out towards kids, meant to be played with. We're not talking about a 68-point of articulation Hot Toys, Under Siege doll. That doesn't count. It needs to be a toy line for kids to play with when the movie came out. So that's a perfect question.
Okay.
Great. Yeah. Because that gets tough, right? Because there's so many toys or collectibles being released.
20 years, 30 years in the future has a little small line. now, but at the time.
So at the time, there was no Toyline being promoted. So when you went to Toys R Us, Toys R Us. Remember that place was magical. I used to have like $5 and I go get a Ninja Turtle.
Oh, it was the best.
We're in Canada. We still have Toys R Us.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Like I can go to Toys R Us right now.
Do it. It'd be a bad podcast episode, but
it's just me walking around complaining about prices because I'm an old man.
All right, so That Junkman. How's that? Do you want to start us off? Do you want to get the first pick?
My start. Well, y'all. I got 10, and y'all narrowed it down to 3. So now I'm looking over my list. I'll start it. I don't know if y'all's age, but all of mine are from the 80s. It wasn't done on purpose, but I just had to think when I was a kid. So I think. I love it. But I'm going to try to go a little obscure. I mean, I'm going to try to. We're only going 3. I'm going to start with my more obscure ones. But y'all probably have this one. I'll start with probably the most well-known out of the 3 anyway. The Last Starfighter.
Oh,
Heat of the Toyline.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
And it almost had one, but it was canceled. Galoob had it, had prototypes, promoted it, and then it got canceled right before release. So I don't know why. That one would have helped push that movie. That
would have been great. And they were going to release like Gunstar ships with it.
Yeah. And
like to this day, the Gunstar ship is an awesome looking ship. I think it's great.
I think because the movie became more popular too when it hit HBO and stuff, that Toyline would have really, really done well. They hung it around a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny. I have an intern named Kenny, and he's in university right now, and he's kind of just like in this crazy stage in life. He's 22, trying to figure himself out, and he said, "I want to watch some good sci-fi." So today, I lent him my copy of The Last Starfighter.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it in years. I need to go back and watch it.
It holds up. It really does.
Well, that's good.
Can we get the flannel shirt? Can we get the flannel shirt in there?
Like the Last Starfighter's flannel shirt?
Yeah, Alex's, right? Doesn't he have a really nice flannel shirt?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a flannel shirt toy line.
Just all flannel shirt characters?
Yes.
Yeah, like they do the Batman thing where they put them in pirate outfits and things like that. Just take DC Superheroes Flannel Edition. All the characters are in flannel.
Yeah, they venomize everything. Let's flannelize them.
Yeah.
Right? All right, we can get that going.
But I'm gonna ask an odd question.
Yeah.
I think it's Steven.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why does that Batman back there look like he's taking a poop?
Because he's taking a poop.
It's just stuck in my head and I couldn't quit looking at it. It looked like he's about to sit on the toilet.
That's a 70s pose, a famous 70s pose with the cape up around his face. He's hiding his face because he's taking a poop.
Okay, I see him doing that. It's the bending of the knees that threw me off. I was like, okay, what's he doing?
Can't unsee that now.
Okay.
Real.
Can I go?
The people
second?
listening is gonna be okay. They're gonna be really
Mark,
confused.
I'd like you to go second.
Okay, this is gonna throw everyone off. And I know we're supposed to go with movies from our childhood, and I have 2 of those, but I like to throw in a weird little curveball here.
Hit me.
So I'm gonna go with the 2011 film, The Lincoln Lawyer. Because I want to have a courtroom toy set. I want to have his Lincoln. I want to have Mick C in the back with briefcases, a Marissa Tomei toy, a Michael Pena toy, John Leguizamo toy, Josh Lucas toy. I already said Marissa Tomei. Give me 2 of those. You could bring in Bosch. I get Earl the driver. I have different Lincolns. I can have the bar that he always goes to. I get all the people in there. And there's so many books.
Very vast toy line. You're talking 2-3 waves here.
Oh, no, like 8 waves. Because there's so many books. You can get the toys from each book. And his Lincoln gets wrecked. Like, he gets a new Lincoln, so you can get the new Lincoln toy.
Right.
Like, I want printers. I want all that lawyer stuff. Like, I want briefcases. I want a judge.
What about Aqua version, where they all have scuba suits?
Yeah.
I want flannel version.
Yeah.
I want Last Starfighter version. I want Aqua version.
Is Lincoln going to have quick draw action?
Yes. I want Venomized. I want Ryan Phillippe with like a sweater wrapped around his neck.
This is what I'm going to say. We're going to pick a winner of the ones that we're going to customize, but I'm also going to give out the Kickstarter award, which is the toy line that deserves the most like hipster Kickstarter campaign. Like, we want these action figures in our collection. And I think the Lincoln Lawyer is going to get it.
Imagine that, Steven, right? You're 11-year-old and you love the Lincoln Lawyer and you get the toys. And
you're just imagine being 11-year-old and loving the Lincoln Lawyer.
And you're sitting there and you're like, I object. And you learn all this law lingo. You're in court, like, hey, like verdict stands. Like, you're talking to the jury. You're playing with Matthew McConaughey, like giving speeches to the jurors. You're learning public speaking. You're like, you know.
Okay, Mark, you're hitting really close to home here. I'm going to pull back the curtain on my life a little bit. So I have a large toy collection, and I love it.
Do you have like the firm toy line? Where's that?
I don't have the firm toy line. But I also don't have any vintage 80s G.I. Joes, because when I found out my wife and I had a baby boy 13 years ago, I started collecting G.I. Joes for him, that on his 5th birthday, we could open up 100 G.I. Joes and have a huge epic G.I. Joe battle. And to this day, my daughter and son still play with this big tub of G.I. Joes. So like for all the toy collectors that are like, they're angry right now, but my kids are loving them. So that's where they're going to stay. Now, my wife has a favorite television show, and that favorite television show is JAG, Military Lawyer Show.
That's her favorite?
It's her favorite show.
My God.
Hey, don't object.
Show. And so I came downstairs one time, and we have Gung Ho in the dress blues, and they're playing JAG, and they have like a little courtroom set up, and they were like, objection. And I'm like, you're playing JAG with the G.I. Joes? And they're like, it's fun, Dad. It's real fun. I'm like, this is insanity.
There will be so many more defense lawyers on this planet.
I just know what would happen. I'd go to Toys R Us, and there'd be no Matthew McConaughey. There'd be a bunch of the Judge, over and over. Just, none of the good figures would be there.
And Josh Lucas, the other attorney that gets wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, that's all that would be there. You couldn't. You go through them on the pegs, trying to see if there's one behind it, and it's all just Josh Lucas and the Judge, and maybe one juror.
Random juror 3-packs.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Steven, you're up.
You're up.
All right. I don't really see, the thing is, I don't have ones from when I was a kid, because mostly when I was a kid, they made action figures. But I have movies that from when I was, I guess, a youth. The first one I'll put forward is Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh,
there was no toy line for that?
That'd be a good one.
No toy line for that. No sequel, even though they announced the sequel in the movie. I have 2 novelizations of it. I have a horrible comic book series of Buckaroo Banzai, but no action figures. Perfect Tommy, and it would be and Jeff Goldblum as New Jersey, dressed in that cowboy outfit, and Peter Weller before he was RoboCop in that cool gray suit, and that car that he drove through a mountain.
Yeah, that truck.
And the evil Lectroids. I mean, this would have been a great series. I'm surprised years later with the cachet that it still has, that cult cachet, that nobody's gone and made them now.
Yeah.
I would buy it. If those were pop vinyls, I'd go get them all right now.
Right?
Yeah. Surprised they hadn't done them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a comic book, right? There was a Marvel Blue Blazers comic book.
It wasn't Marvel, it was Blue Moon Publishing, I believe, and it was just terrible. It was unfortunately unreadable. I was very excited. Then I saw the art, and the art was not great, but I thought the story would carry. I couldn't get through it. And I'm a huge Blue Blazer regular fan. You know who else is a Blue Blazer regular? Why have I forgotten her name now? She was on Andromeda, who played the robot.
Meryl Streep.
Yes, she played the robot Andromeda on married to Michael Shanks.
And she got an Oscar nomination, even though it was TV.
Yeah, and an Emmy, even though it was a movie. I don't remember her name now.
And a Grammy.
Lexa Doig, who's been in a lot of sci-fi, and she's a huge fan of Buckaroo Banzai as well. We will trade lines with each other on Twitter.
Nice.
Incredible.
Laugh for while you can, monkey boy.
John Lithgow.
John Big Booty. Big Booty. Big Booty.
All right, Adam, what's your pick here?
So mine is one, the Beastmaster, I think would have been a very, very cool toy line. I used to take my He-Man figure and then give him Panther, and then take Skeletor's belt off and put it on He-Man and make my own Beastmaster figure when I was a kid.
There was no ferret.